Hi, my name is Sandra, and my partner, Chris, is the cameraman.
Hello.
And today we're going to do a chronic illness tag called What's in My Pillbox, where you can learn about everything wrong with me and what I do to mitigate it. Let me give you a brief lowdown on what I've been diagnosed with, and we'll go from there into my pillbox. And I not only mean my pillbox, but my fridge too. Here are my conditions in order of severity, but keep in mind it's all interrelated. Some days one thing will be worse than the other, and then another day it's a good day. First, psoriatic arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and hypothyroidism. From those, I have several secondary conditions that spin off. I have type 2 diabetes, which in conjunction with the PCOS and hypothyroidism have caused me to be obese. I'm a fat girl. The medically induced obesity and being raised in a very fat-phobic environment contributed to my developing and maintaining an eating disorder called OSFED atypical anorexia nervosa, which means I'm fat, but I restrict my food to frightening degrees. I don't eat, and it's especially bad when I look at the scale often, or one of my doctors opens their big mouths and suggests dieting as a cure. It gets on my nerves, and then I restrict more, and it's not fun. It drives Chris bonkers. And then you get into the mental disorders, as if anorexia was not enough. But I also have what is called rapid cycling bipolar 1 disorder. It also causes a chronic insomnia, which means I get really, really irritable because I can't sleep. It makes the bipolar worse, and it's just a vicious, vicious cycle. Finally, I have a mild form, for now, of gastroparesis. I put food in my mouth, goes into my stomach, and it stays there. It just stays there for a while. It's particularly bad for medications because we never know when or if my stomach will actually digest those pills. So we go for injectables or oral sublingual tablets or chewables or liquids whenever possible. Now that we got all that pleasantness out of the way, let's get into my pillbox. First is methotrexate. It prevents your immune system from destroying various tissues in your body. For me, it's my joints. This is Humira. This is a biologic medication. It's another injectable, and this helps to block certain channels in my immune system from continuing to eat at my joints. And we have Trulicity. This is a medication that helps my pancreas create more insulin. Tresiba. This is a long-acting insulin that is really, really neat in the fact that it has an 8-hour overlap. So you have a lot of room to wiggle when you need to take it. So very cool. And our final injectable is Humalog. This is a short-acting insulin that I take prior to meals or after meals to deal with the influx of sugar into my system. And the final thing, the ever-important test kit. You have to have this in order to find out what your blood sugar is so you know your dosing for your Humalog. But very, very, very important that I'm told I'm supposed to use more often.
Yeah, about that.
So next is my only liquid, which is an opioid. This is oxycodone. I take this for the immense joint pain that I live with every single day of my life. Now we're going into my actual pillbox. I have a very big pillbox.
That's just one day.
That's just one day. So we start our day with the Vance. This is a stimulant. It's actually very closely related to methamphetamines, but it works. This is my get up and go when I just can't drag myself out of bed. This is metformin. This helps my cells to metabolize the insulin better? I look at Chris.
Yes, yes.
Some of these things I don't quite know, but I try. This teeny little pill is Synthroid. This is for my hypothyroidism. It produces the thyroid hormone that I cannot produce naturally. This is good old-fashioned ibuprofen. This helps to augment the oxycodone because I am in so much pain every day of my life. The ibuprofen also helps me with my everyday pain. It is the baseline pain that I am in from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. The oxycodone, on the other hand, is for what they call breakthrough pain. When you've taken all your other medications and you just still want to curl up and cry. These two little buggers are folic acid. These are necessary if you are being prescribed methotrexate, because methotrexate is a medication that works through the folic acid in your body. It will deplete it and leave you with mouth ulcers, losing hair all over the place, bad skin. Take your folic acid. And finally for my morning is the good old vitamin D, because I'm deficient in it. That concludes my morning medications, and now we're going to move into the nighttime ones that I take every single day at 8:30 sharp. PM pills. First one is metformin. I take 2,000 milligrams of this a day. This is the extended release formula, so I take 2 in the AM, 2 in the PM. These are my PM ones. This guy is birth control, and I do not take this to prevent birth. I have the PCOS. If I do not take a birth control pill, it causes polyps to grow in my uterus. So we have a progesterone-only pill that helps prevent that from happening. This is Seroquel, what I take to help with my bipolar disorder. Ever since going on this, I have had just the most wonderful times. It's been a game changer. Big game changer. This is olanzapine, but this is a special bipolar medication. This one, my psychiatrist is able to give me in an orally dissolving tablet. Another tiny pill is Zolpidem. This is Ambien. It's for insomnia. I take it, but it doesn't really do what I need it to do. We are looking into alternatives to the Ambien. This is Xanax for anxiety. Also looking into an alternative for this, but this is also an orally disintegrating tablet that tastes horrendous. This is melatonin. This is a supplement. It helps your circadian rhythm get where it needs to go. I would be lost without this. Been on it for years. This ibuprofen. It's my evening tablet, and it helps with my baseline pain. Oh my gosh, so many pills. We're only halfway through my pills. These two are Requip, and they are to help with restless leg syndrome, which I developed after going on my biologic. So it's to help with the side effect. Humira is my evil biologic for the moment. Omeprazole. It's an antacid. It is necessary for me to take this, or else the ibuprofen will eat through my stomach and leave bleeding ulcers behind. Montelukast. It's an allergy medication. It is there so I don't get as many sinus infections from my biologic Humira, because it lowers your immune system. You get everything that comes your way. We're almost there, I promise. Bright pink pills are Benadryl. I do this because I am highly allergic to the 12 cats I have in my house, but I love them, so I suffer. The only reason I take this. My PM vitamin D pill, because I am deficient. Biotin, which is another supplement, and I take this to help offset the side effects of the methotrexate. Without this, I have a lot of hair loss from it, and my hair is thin enough.
And it's red and pretty, and we like it.
Yes. And finally, for my PM meds, we have milk thistle, which is a new addition to my regimen. This is to help with liver toxicity. We upped my methotrexate, so I need to go on it. That's all my PM pills. Moving on to side effects. Now we're going to move on to secondary medications that I take for side effects or some other reason. So first is sumatriptan, also known as Imitrex. This is for the migraines that my biologic Humira gives me. And this is Zofran. This is an anti-nausea medication. It's a sublingual pill that I put underneath my tongue. It makes the nausea go away. And the final category, which is also side effects and topical treatments that I have to take. First off, I have what is called autoimmune chronic dry eye. And so in my everyday, I have to use these. The Refresh Optiv Mega 3 Lubricant Eye Drops with lipid oils in it so that I can blink. And at night, my partner, who is so sweet, squirts this gel into my eye so that I have nighttime protection for my dry eye.
I love you.
I love you too. Where would I be without you?
Miserable.
Miserable. I would not have this many medications.
And you'd have no one to work the camera.
Yes. Our next little supplemental medication is linked to a little story time. For about 20 years, I use nasal spray every single day, multiple times a day. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I came down with a really, really bad cold and I blew my nose and I blew a hole in my septum. And it was directly linked to the nasal spray. It destroyed the blood vessels in my nose. The septum had nothing there and it just... and I cried. But the side effect of having a hole in your septum is that your whole nasal cavity becomes very, very dry and uncomfortable. So I use this. It's a sprayable gel that you put up your nose and it moisturizes everything comfortably and it makes life a lot better. Don't use nasal spray. PSA. As a consequence of the methotrexate, I also have very dry, unpleasant skin that itches a lot. Also the oxycodone. The oxycodone comes with the side effect of having nerve issues. So my feet wind up itching like nobody's business on the days that I take the oxy and the methotrexate. And on those days, my partner, who is an awesome massage therapist, will use this. It's a sugar scrub from a company called Pure Fiji, which I thought was all froofy until I actually used it and realized it was a really, really awesome product that took the itch away. And on the piggyback to that, we use their body butter afterward. And it soothes my skin like just... You can afford it, get these products. Links will be in the description below. This is clobetasol ointment, and it was prescribed to me because of the side effect from the oxycodone of the really overactive itchy nerves in my feet. When nothing else is working and I'm scratching myself raw, I smear this on it and it goes away. Bechamethasone is a steroid ointment that is put on my psoriasis patches when they crop up because they like to show up and they're painful and they're itchy, and this works. And you use this for 2 weeks, and then you use diaper rash ointment another 2 weeks, specifically A and D. My dermatologist said it's very important to have the vitamin D, and those two combined get rid of the psoriasis patches. Very lucky. Finally, this is the very last one. This is a topical pain medication that my pain doctor prescribes me. It is a mix of diclofenac, lidocaine, and prilocaine. And this is massaged into my tailbone, my knees, my elbows, whatever joint happens to be very, very unhappy at that particular moment. And it was a game changer. Hello, precious boy. This is my sleepy Daniel. He is my ESA. My psychiatrist prescribed him. And he goes with me when I go out of town. He goes with me to events that I am lucky enough to be a part of. And he makes it so that my life is good. He's a very good boy.
He does not want to look at the camera.
But he's a precious, precious little godsend. And he makes all the bad good. Because he just purrs and he's warm and he's heavy. And he's a good boy. And that is what's in my Pillbox.